If you're just joining us, you missed a heck of a half hour of radio, which you can find at the station's website. Actually, both stations' websites, WHBL.com, WTAQ.com. Tracy does a great job of getting the podcast up very quickly. By noon, 1 o'clock? She'll have that segment up. Because I don't remember which order she does them. Okay, they go backward. By 1 o'clock, the two segments, if you were listening just now that you just heard, will be up there. We have the campaign managers of the Walker and Neumann for governor campaigns. Scott Walker's campaign last night sent out an email saying delegates from all over the state received what they believe are push poll calls. But more than that the caller represented themselves as being from the Republican Party of Wisconsin, and when pressed on that, hung up in some cases. I'm just going to be honest here. We had Chip Englander from the Neumann campaign. We had Keith Jilks from the Walker campaign. And it's not even, to me, it's not even close. The Neumann campaign is being evasive. And by the way, Chip didn't deny that Mark Neumann spread a rumor to a reporter earlier in this campaign that Scott Walker was leaving the campaign to run for another office. He didn't deny that. I'm just saying I wasn't part of that conversation. Let me be very clear on something. I have not endorsed Scott Walker. I, in fact, resist the group that tried to recall Doyle. They wanted me to immediately endorse Scott Walker when Doyle said he wasn't seeking re-election. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I welcome a primary. I welcomed Mark Neumann's entry into this race. I think it's healthy. I think two conservatives, and by the way, in terms of ideology, my personal opinion is Walker and Neumann are two blue chip candidates. Each have their respective strengths and weaknesses. Neumann having run a statewide campaign, be it 12 years ago, but a very close one against Russ Feingold. Walker, energetic young Milwaukee County executive, still in the game. Both have their strengths and weaknesses, but overall, I think both would make excellent Republican nominees. Excellent. They absolutely would. However, and as I said, I was one of the few, I welcomed Mark Neumann. Most talk show hosts in Wisconsin, conservative hosts, said, no, it's Scott's turn. Let's not screw things up with a primary. I disagreed. I said, look at Hillary Obama. They got all the heat and light of the media while McCain sat with his thumbs somewhere. And it paid off. That said, I cannot defend the Neumann campaign. They did spread rumors about Scott Walker. They don't deny it. And their denials here, I blogged on this last night in the Bader blog, which you can find right now at the station's website. But obviously the story has been advanced appreciably from that with the last half hour of radio. Just a smidge, Jace. You moved it just an inch or 400. And Chris Lotto, who I know from his Wisconsin radio network days. Chris, I sent him the blog last night, to which he replied at 9:07 this morning. Good morning, Jerry. In response to your column, despite the Walker campaign and their supporters' attempts, so you're saying all these delegates are Walker supporters, and that's why they're making this up, to make hay out of this. There is indeed nothing nefarious about these calls, and then he gave us the script, which we shared with you. So they're all lying. They're all lying. Jason says anything is possible. Conspiracies are possible. Notice the solace that Chip Englander took in the fact that there is no recorded evidence. Because here's a reality. I know Jason says, I hate no evidence. It's he said, he said. Okay, yes. And the Neumann campaign is taking great comfort in that. Because here's the reality. In today's world, if it's not recorded, particularly video, if it's not recorded, it didn't happen. And if it is recorded, its importance is magnified exponentially. Let me give you an example. Terry McCormick got away with her tirade in our lobby because nobody thought to pull out their cell phone camera. If somebody had thought to pull out their cell phone camera and record that, can you imagine what that story would have been? It'd be on YouTube. It'd be all over the place. She'd be done. But she's able to survive that because all you have is me telling you, and I'm telling you, it happened that way. I have 3 witnesses, but you could have 1,000 witnesses. In today's world, if you can't play it on YouTube, it's not real. Or if you can't play audio of it on the radio. Chip Englander and the Neumann campaign is banking on the fact then it's not real. Well, I don't believe there's any voicemails. Okay, so what he's saying is, yeah, I know there's no smoking gun. I know snaky talk when I hear it. Chip Englander was engaging in snaky talk, and Keith Jilks was not. You would agree with that, wouldn't you, Jason? And again, I'm telling you, I really wanted Mark Neumann in this race. I really did. It is clear to me that it depends, Jason. It depends. It seems clear to me that the Neumann campaign is being spinning. They're spinning, and the Walker campaign isn't. I'll leave you to decide. Are all of those delegates Walker supporters, and are they all lying about the caller misrepresenting themselves? Jan in Green Bay. Jan, hi, you're on the Jerry Bader Show.
Hi. What an excellent show you're having today. The clarity is just beautiful.
Thank you.
I would like to suggest, though, that when the Republicans have their primary, they have a special spot called GovSen, and with Walker and Neumann being the leaders here, I can see that they should just arm wrestle, just do some Indian wrestling, and whoever wins runs for governor, and whoever loses runs for senator. And I think there's no apologies here. These two guys are pretty good conservatives. I think we're kind of majoring in the minors at this point. We have 2 excellent conservatives, and we still don't have anybody to run against Feingold. So that's what I think. I think these 2 guys are 2 good guys, and we ought to just go full tilt with one guy in each direction and take it.
And Jan, thanks a lot for the call. And the way you characterized it is exactly the way I felt about this primary. That Mark Neumann and Scott Walker are 2 really good guys. I think they would both make exceptional candidates against Tom Barrett. I think they would both have a really good chance of winning, which is why I'm very, very disappointed in the Neumann campaign. And while I don't know who's telling the truth here, look, I'll call the balls and strikes here. And it seems pretty obvious to me who is spinning and who is twisting. Gary D. on the road. Hi, you're on the Jerry Bader Show.
Jerry, once again, love you, man. Love your show. Thanks for having me on.
Yes.
Listen, I too, generally wait a long time before I make any decision and weigh out things onto who endorse or whatever. But not too long ago, I decided to endorse Scott Walker. But here's the thing what's going on. I had some of these same kind of phone calls used against me through the campaigns in my life. And it's not a fun thing. It's a very fine line. It's very narrow. I think either one would make a good governor, but tactics like this prove to me I made the right choice.
All right, Gary, thanks a lot for the call. I am very disappointed in the tactics. And then the complete unwillingness to come clean. Say what you will about me. I come clean in these types of matters.